I'm Crystal Stanton. I'm the owner of DOT Compliance Specialists, and I'm here today with Dan the Moving Man, and we're going to go and check out all 4 of the vehicles and make sure that they're in good running condition and there's no issues with the...
That's perfectly fine.
Oh, God. To make sure that there's no issues with any of the vehicles or any vehicle pieces hanging off or whatnot. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to point out that all 4 of these vehicles should be parked along the back row here. When someone came back, they failed to put the 3rd vehicle over to the 4th vehicle spot. We like to have all 4 vehicles lined up nice and straight in the back lot here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start at the left side of the truck here by the driver's side. We're going to check the battery case. Cover's in good condition. Strap looks good. It's nice and tight. The DEF tank here, there's definitely no leaks. Stable. Everything looks as it should. The diesel tank here, there's no leaks. You want to really look for leaks. That looks really good. All the anchoring brackets and supports are in good condition. Steps are solid and stable. There's no sign of any leaks whatsoever. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at this side of the vehicle here, making sure that we got the mirrors intact. The mirrors look good. While we're walking through here, we're going to still observe the whole body, making sure that there's no damage to the body. We're going to take a look at the tire depth here. This is really good tire depth. And we're going to look at the lug nuts here, making sure that they are nice and tight. We don't have any leakage coming out of the center here. This looks good. And then what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and check the oil. Look for any other major leaks throughout the truck. And we'll go ahead and take a look down here and make sure that everything with the brake system and the air brake system looks good, nice and stable. No hanging wires. There's no leaks. Then we'll go ahead and go to the other side of the truck. And we're going to take a look at the antifreeze. Antifreeze looks good. We got plenty of windshield washer fluid. We're going to take a look at the windshield and make sure that's not cracked. But we do see that we have things blocking our view here that should not be on the dash. We got license plates here. Those need to be applied to the vehicle. And these tools should not be on the dashboard. We should never have anything on the dash. And there's also a water bottle over on the driver's side of the truck that needs to be removed. The dash should be completely clean. This tire here, the tread looks good on this one. And the lug nuts look nice and tight. There's no signs of leakage. Everything looks really well there.
And how do you know if the tread's good on these tires?
There's a tread meter. The fronts should not be less than 230 seconds. And the back should not be less than 430 seconds. This side of the truck here, the body looks good. We got 2 mirrors. The diesel tank looks great here. There's no signs of leakage. And the steps look good, nice and stable. Brackets look good. As we walk along here, we're going to look at the reflective tape. That looks good. We're also going to look at clearance lights as we walk through. We're also going to check out the frame, look for dents, scratches, any issues with the frame. This looks really good. Exhaust system looks great. Nothing hanging, nothing loose, nothing that's going to get caught or cause any issues. Just looking at the reflective tape. Of course, on the inspection, we'll document this damage just to make sure that Tyler knows about it. We're also going to come along and check these 2 rear tires as well. These 2 have excellent tread on them as well. And the lug nuts look great here. There's no signs of leakage. Mud flap looks good. Nice, new, intact. Back of the back part of the frame looks good. Lift gate looks like it's in great shape. Nothing banged up or no parts missing. We're also going to confirm that the ramp is locked into place so that way it doesn't slide out. We're going to go ahead and look at all the lights. Reflective tape, license plate lamp, making sure that that's lit up and the proper plates are on the vehicle. On this side over here, we're going to look at the mud flap again. And as we kind of go through here, we'll look at the rest of the frame of the truck as well. And we'll take a look at these 2 tires and making sure that they're the proper tread depth. And take a look at the lug nuts, making sure those look like they're all nice and tight. You know, you can go through and touch them all if you want, but they don't show any sign of being loose at all. No leakage of oil. Frame looks in excellent shape. We got a reflective tape here that's got hit. We should get that replaced. Everything else looks good. This reflective tape here should also be replaced. It's starting to chip off if the wind catches it. It could come off completely and be a violation. So we'll go ahead and close it.
And what's the importance of the DOT number, and where is it located?
The DOT number is located on the side of the truck. The U.S. DOT number gives you the authority to cross state lines. There's also an MC number that should be on the side of the truck. So then that way that gives you the authority to operate within the state of Wisconsin. Are working right. The hazard lights are working good here as well. I'm going to hop in and turn the headlights on, and I'll test the blinkers as well. Last but not least, it's imperative to test the horn and make sure that the horn functions properly. So it's still good. Put it back and we'll go ahead and anchor it down. So over here we'll pop the seat and we'll find the triangles here. Here you can see we got the triangle kit. This one here is still secured, never been used. That's what it should be, nice condition. But you can still certainly use them once it's open. You want to keep as much clutter out of here as possible. Another key thing to keep in mind is in the morning, you know, if you come out and do this daily vehicle inspection and, you know, you're hungover or whatever and you just kind of buzz right through it, check it and sign off on it, get in the truck and, yeah, I got her done today. You get stopped at the scale, they do an inspection, they're going to say, where's your daily vehicle inspection report? They're going to pull yours out and they're going to look at yours and compare what they found and know that was falsified. You don't want to falsify documents. That goes against Dan the Moving Man as well, Tyler. It's imperative. Like I said, I know it's a pain, but it's a requirement and it needs to be done, even when you come back. So when you come back and do it, you document stuff. So this is for internal auditing as well. So we, like tonight, we'll document the 3 things that we found here on this one. So you guys, 2 of you guys go out tomorrow morning. Yep, everything's good. Fill out your report. I got a report sitting here for truck 3051, and all of a sudden I get a 3051 in that for the next day that says no issues, and we know that this truck wasn't in the shop or nothing got repaired. So then we have it'll be a counseling time with the employee that did the inspection, saying, hey, you know, these need to be completed properly. So any questions regarding this?
How long should your average truck inspection, like say we come in the morning, how like time-wise, how long do you think we should spend doing that?
Typically it'll be about 15 minutes. 15 minutes, yeah, give or take. Because you just want to do a really good one-over on it. You know, look at everything. You're just looking in the hood, checking things out, making sure you don't notice anything, you know, that's pretty severe. Checking the tires and everything. Like everything here that's listed, you know, and making sure it's road ready. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not going to know if the transmission's going on it or something, but obviously there's things that you can prevent and document and know, or if you notice something like, hey, Tyler, we got a tire that's losing air, we can't take this truck, so at least Tyler knows that, hey, I got to get this truck in the shop today so we can get a new tire on. Okay, guys, go ahead and take 3062, for today. And then if you got another move or whatever, you can get this in the shop and then have to take that truck or whatever. But you always be able to work it out one way or another.
So what should you do if you notice that there's a major issue?
If there's a major issue, then you need to get a hold of Tyler right away.
When should you do that?
Immediately.
Okay.
You're not going to want to take that truck on a job or anything. That vehicle is going to basically like it's been being placed out of service until it gets fixed.
Now, if you know that there's a major issue and you know that it could cause issues or issues on the road or can cause harm, could they be held responsible for something like this, for not paying attention and telling Tyler right away?
You could according to the policy, you could write them up or terminate them or whatnot. But in the long run, if there is some drastic damage to this, if there's something really wrong with this, and they take it out on the road and they know about it, and you have people that get killed, I mean, yeah, the driver's going to get in trouble, but ideally, it's going to fall on DanTheMovingMan and your US DOT number. When you have a crash on there, it's not good, because you're going to have FMCSA here, you're going to have the state here, you're going to have everyone here digging into your driving program. And that's essentially why Tyler reached out to me, to get all this stuff put together and to go through it with you guys so that all of you are aware of what's required and what needs to be done, so that way everyone's safe. And even though one of the key things with the State Patrol and with FMCSA is every single trucking company I go to or everyone I talk to, they complain about all the paperwork, all the documents, all this stuff. I stopped at the gas station yesterday, I put a new headlight in. Why do I got to keep track of that? Why do I got to keep track of all this maintenance? That's another insurance policy for you. So you have all the documents of everything being repaired. So when there's an accident or a crash, and all of a sudden Joe Schmo says, well, I didn't see the blinker. The blinker wasn't working. Baloney. You have this to show that it was working properly in the morning. In your in the vehicle maintenance file, it shows that you just replaced that bulb 2 weeks ago and everything was working fine. Because that's ultimately what's going to happen. When you have a truck like this with DanTheMovingMan on it, right there, that is a automatic sign of a lawsuit. People get money hungry, and it's a business, and they're going to want to sue. Plain and simple. And that's why FMCSA put together all these programs and stuff to protect the companies and the drivers and the other drivers on the road.
Can you explain what that company is, that program?
FMCSA?
Yep.
It's the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It's a federal program that it essentially looks at all the drivers. They do analysis throughout the year, seeing how many drivers are on the road, how many CMV vehicles are on the road, setting out the rules and regulations, for hours of service and whatnot. And the only reason why they have specific hours is because they know from statistics and crashes and whatnot, the lack of sleep, people not getting the adequate sleep, it's important, and the reason why a lot of these rules have been put in place is because there's been an accident behind it. There's been a reason why they had to enforce it or put it in place. You had a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what if everything clears, the truck's good to go, but then it blows the seal on the road and then it causes the pile up?
That's something that you're not going to know. I mean, ideally, stuff like that's going to happen, and you have proof that you had, your vehicle inspection done. Obviously, you're not underneath the vehicle looking at all the seals and everything. You're just kind of gazing at what's available, and if you notice any leaks, I mean, things like that do happen. Just like any, driving on the road in your vehicle. You wake up in the morning, things running fine. You take off to Colorado, and you break down halfway there, and the vehicle's stranded for 2 days because they don't have parts.
So, let's say your headlight or something goes out, midway through a trip. Is that technically illegal in any way to drive without one, or no?
If you have the capability, if you guys recognize it and see it, stop at a convenience store or whatever and replace that bulb.
Okay.
And keep that receipt so that way he can A, reimburse you, and B, keep that receipt so we can have it part of the maintenance file.
What if they're not able to replace it? What if there's no bulb, or what if it's just not able to get replaced?
Then obviously document it on your slip when you get back, so then that way it shows that you know that hey, 3 o'clock in the afternoon we were driving back from this move job, and the headlight was burned out. So then that way we know, or Tyler knows, hey, we need to get this into River States to get this headlight changed out, because nobody here can.
So when you were in DOT, what did you notice that a lot of people were trying to skim by and were not following the rules?
Another key thing, that fire extinguisher has got to be mounted. It's got to be mounted like behind the seat or wherever it is. That would always be a big thing that you'd run into. People, yeah, I got my fire extinguisher right here. They grab it, pick it right up. It's good. Well, that needs to be mounted. Those are really minor things, but the more times that you guys get stopped for inspections and they keep seeing fire extinguisher not mounted, fire extinguisher not mounted, it's a consistent problem that's happening, and they're gonna be like, well, you guys have a major issue with a certain part of your program here. What's going on? Which would fall under the vehicle maintenance.
Can you explain the importance of stopping at every weigh scale station?
When you're driving by, now here's a catch-22 too. This is something to also keep in mind. You're driving along, you pass a sign. Usually there's 2 or 3 that you're coming up on. They'll say closed, and you get right up to the one, and also when you switch to on, you're fine going by because you don't have the time to stop and pull into the scale. That's fine. But when you're coming up on it and you see it's open, you've got to roll in there, and they're going to tell you to just go through there slow, and they're going to roll you over and check your weight. And what they'll do is they'll look at that US DOT number, and they're going to punch that DOT number in that computer as fast as their fingers will move. And right now, with Dan the Moving Man, your guys' safety rating is sitting right at about 63, which is right in the middle, because it's new. It's a new company. And what you want is you ideally would like them to have you stop around the back to have some really good inspections, because that'll drive that score down. The lower the score, the better. Is that the more violations they find, that score is going to creep up, and it could be minor things. It could be, driver didn't have the seatbelt on, driver didn't have their they didn't have their driver's license on them, they didn't have their med card on them. They didn't have their daily vehicle inspection. They're going beyond the 150 air miles. They didn't have a logbook page for the day. Things of that nature. All those things tally up against Dan the Moving Man. It has nothing to do with you as a driver. Nothing. Everything goes against him. Unless, of course, you stop for speeding. You'll get the speeding ticket in your name, but it will also go against Dan the Moving Man.
Now, what are some fines that the employees can get themselves?
Speeding, failing to stop at lights. If you guys fail to stop at the scale, that goes strictly against Dan the Moving Man and the US DOT number.
But I think we did put a fine in the policy.
Yes, we did put that in the policy, that if you guys decide to blow past the scale, you'll be charged, and you get stopped, and there's proof that you failed to stop at the scale. You yourselves will be charged $100.
And who gets that fine? Is it everybody in the vehicle or just the driver?
Just the driver.
Okay.
Yeah, just the driver.